Now that the 2022 World Series is set, I thought it'd be a fun little idea to take a look back at my postseason predictions for this year and see how accurate I was compared to what actually happened. It turns out I hit about 500, which is really good if I'm a hitter, but really bad if I'm predicting things. And what's interesting too about my predictions is that it wasn't just like a mixture of series getting right. I got the entire AL right, and I got all of the National League wrong, which I find pretty entertaining. If you take a look on what is currently the background of this video is what my predictions were in that video. And we'll go through round by round and discuss what happened in them. We'll start with the American League wild card, and the Seattle Mariners were able to beat the Toronto Blue Jays as I expected to. I felt the Mariners had a little bit more momentum going into the playoffs, and they were able to have extreme motivations to get their first home playoff game in over 20 years. So I figured Seattle would win that. And then I pretty much knew that the Guardians were going to beat Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay was struggling coming into the playoffs. Cleveland had a lot better pitching, and they were able to grab the victory in that series. And then we go to the NL. I know it's not necessarily on the screen right now, but you can see in my AL and NLDS predictions, I predicted the Mets to beat the Padres and the Cardinals to beat the Phillies. Did not happen. The New York Mets blew it to the Padres. And, man, a 101 win team goes down to a team that would struggle to make the playoffs. But credit to the Padres, they were able to give us another year of low Mets, and we're ever grateful for them. And something I'm very grateful to is that the Phillies were able to beat the Cardinals and get the team I hate that most out of the playoffs. And thank you very much, Philadelphia, and your Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper bombs. And then we go to the ALDS. I was able to correctly predict that the Astros would make quick work of Seattle, mainly because of their Houston is just a very, very good team. It has a lot of good power, and Seattle is not your time yet. Like I say, in 2-3 years, I think you guys will be able to dethrone Houston, but not quite yet, Seattle. But you're getting there. And then I figured Cleveland did not have the hitting to keep up with the Yankees, so I was able to correctly predict that the Yankees would be able to get by Cleveland. But it was definitely a lot closer than I thought. Especially, Cleveland could have won that series. And then the Dodgers lost to the Padres. Eat it, LA. Eat it. That massive payroll can't do anything against the Padres, which was very, very nice. I am very happy to see the big boys always go down. And then, surprisingly, Atlanta lost to Philadelphia. And Philadelphia was able to make it to the NLCS for the first time since guys like Ryan Howard were on the team. Man, that's the name of it. That's a long time ago. Then ALCS, I predicted that Houston would beat the Yankees because Houston always has the Yankees number in the playoffs. And they did it. And they swept them. I was not expecting a sweep to happen. Because I thought the Yankees would have a little more fight, but the Yankees just laid down and died. And they made all these excuses, too. Like, grow up. They just outplayed you. Deal with it. Disgusting. And then the Phillies were able to reach the World Series as the last team to make it into the playoffs. It stings a little bit as a Brewers fan, as we were one game behind them in the standings. But credit to Philadelphia, they were able to get hot at the right time, and they were just able to beat who was in front of them. And with the combined power of Bryce Harper being absolutely amazing, and Kyle Schwarber hitting absolute mammoth home runs, they are able to make the World Series for the first time since 2009 when they lost to the Yankees. And the Astros are becoming a very regular face in the World Series. They won, of course, in 2017 when the infamous cheating scandal happened. And then they lost in 2019 and 2021 to the Nationals and Braves, respectively. Now the question is, who is going to win this World Series? Both of these teams have been very, very impressive so far this season in the playoffs. And Houston's last two World Series losses have been to NL East teams. But I think Houston is just too good of a team right now. And they are riding high off of sweeping the Yankees. And I would say Houston will win in 6 games against the Philadelphia Phillies. Phillies, I think that you have a good shot potentially to upset them. I don't think it's that much of an imbalance, but I do think Houston's overall talent and Philly's lack of pitching will make the difference in this series. Well, let me know what you guys think is going to happen in this year's World Series and how much of your playoff predictions were correct. Because I got the AL right. I say I'll take that for my first year doing playoff predictions. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. It'll mean a lot for me and the growth of this channel in the future. Until then, take care.